What do you say to the critics who may criticize your campaign as being this pro-black agenda? I don't know if you got that question before, but I feel like as a black man, when we run for office and we want to create this change for our people, there's always criticism saying that our message is too black. Like they told you earlier, tone it down a bit. What they really was saying was stop being so black. Stop trying to fight for black people too much. So they let us go to a certain limit, but it's always like, you ain't gonna overstep. Now you're talking about restoring the vote for felons who have nonviolent, record or nonviolent charges, but they still pay taxes. So that's taxation without representation. Literally, the country was founded on that same principle. You start talking about that, now we got to shut you down, right? Now we got that pushback. So what do you say to the critics who make, say that your campaign is too black or pro-black?
When people, some of the best advice my mother gave me, man. My mother said to me, people's opinion of you is their business, so mind yours. People's opinion of you is their business. Mind your business. That's their business. But you can't worry about what people say, man, because those people who are saying that I'm pro-black, they need to be pro-black also. I come up in I was born in the 70s, bro. And here's a fact. In the Webster's dictionary, when I was coming up, that N-word was in the dictionary. Like it was in the dictionary. It was a definition of it. And the meaning was stupid, ignorant person. It was a whole lot of derogatory, but the N-word was in the Webster's dictionary, right? I say that to say that if the definition that I read when I was in school is true, then we have white people who are the N-word. We have Hispanic people who stupid, ignorant people. This is what the N-word meant, right? So, I don't get caught up in what people think about what I'm doing as pro-black. Who are you to judge me? Have you ever been black? Is one of the questions I would ask a white person who said I'm pro-black. Try to fit your feet in these 11 and a halves. And just I bet you won't even last an hour. I get death threats. I don't know if you know that. Like I get death threats and hate mail, and I'm used to it. This comes with the territory, bro. Like I don't think Martin Luther King ever had a peaceful day, or Malcolm X ever had a peaceful day. Some of us have a calling over our lives, man, and to be honest with you, some of us go a lifetime without knowing what that calling is. You're looking at somebody who actually knows, like, what his calling in life is, bro. Like, I know this is what I was called to do. I'm not just like, you get these people like they'll show up to your show. What are you gonna do for the community? Well, I'm gonna fix the achievement gap, and I'm gonna fix homelessness, and I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna stop playing with these people. I'm gonna stop like sugarcoating racism and acting like this is sweet and we love it. There's some comfortable slaves here in this state, by the way. I'm tired of being comfortable receiving nothing, man. Like every year there's a huge piece of pie that comes here and we don't even get a slice.
Nothing.
Like, come on, man. Like, keep the pie. Keep the pie. Just let us be black then.
Give us some ingredients to make our own pie. We don't want none of y'all pie. Just let us make our own.
But these are things that need to happen. So for people to call me pro-black, you won't hear me calling somebody pro-Mexican or pro-Somali or pro-white or like, how dare you? You know what I mean? Like, what am I? Am I anything other than a black man? But
so
remember,
what you expect?
Remember what I said earlier, though? Like I because I choose my words carefully. I said that this campaign, because you got to think about it, we're not just, when you get elected, you're not just a representative representing the East Side, you represent the entire state on some of these committees, right? And so just keep in mind what I said earlier about my people, because there was a 47-year-old Hmong, St. Paul Public School teacher's assistant, bringing home $752 every 2 weeks, and her rent is $1,400 a month. While we have politicians talking about we're putting affordable housing in your community, affordable to who? You know what I mean? Like,
that's always my question. Affordable to who?
You know what
that's
I mean? Like,
relative.
And now I had to work 2 jobs to pay rent. How am I going to help my kid with his homework? Let's talk about the achievement gap now. Remember, I told you they used to beat us for learning. Now they just call it an achievement gap. This happens in the black community all the time. This happens to us all the time. Where mom got to work 2 jobs, dad ain't home, dad in jail. Incarcerating us at a high rate. So who's home to help him with his homework, right? Now you complaining about this black kid coming to school being black. He's doing stuff that he does at home. He's acting out. Like we talked about trauma earlier. How traumatic is that? My mom can't even buy me a pair of shoes. She can't help me with my homework. She working 2 jobs just to have this funky little apartment that we live in. You know what I mean? Like, give us an opportunity. Cut us in or cut it out.
And how do we make, and sorry to cut you off, but I got to make this point. How do we make white men who are in the GOP specifically, because that's where we're getting a lot of resentment from, right? And I'm independent, by the way. I don't know if you know that or not, but I'm not Democrat or Republican.
We'll talk about that off
air. I'm independent, so we'll talk about that off the air or whatever. But that's how I show up, right? So, and I have Republican friends. I have Democrat friends. I agree with some of the Republican ideology. I agree with some of the Democrat ideology. Hence why I'm in the middle. But how do we get white GOP from greater Minnesota to understand that reality for black folks if they have never experienced it before? How do we get them to understand that?
You put me in legislation. And I'll tell you why I said that, not to sound cocky. For years I've watched, first of all, there's not a lot of color in that crayon box. I say that. But then the color we have in that crayon box doesn't put a lot of meat on their plate. Bring them to Selby. Bring them to the east side of St. Paul over there off of Maryland and Arundel. Bring them over here to Sam's Dairy over here in St. Paul and let them see some of the conditions and do some ride-alongs with some of these officers here and then tell them we can't go in there. I just had a brother, and I'll give you an example and then I'll move. I had a brother in a Zoom meeting with all of these important legislators, and he's saying, and I'm not going to say his name because he's well known here, but he's saying, what we're trying to do here in St. Paul is reimagine policing. Let me stop you. Let me stop you right now, because the words that you use, right, are important also. And if I'm not in this meeting and saying what I'm about to say right now, they'll have you reimagining until you blue in the face. We don't want to reimagine police. We want it to be reality, and it can be reality because we're talking to people who can make it reality, right? And I'm talking to a black man. If you're not talking to these people like this is why we're getting what we're getting out of these people. Like, we have to make it reality. We're not demanding anything that we don't deserve. Like, doggone it, you're not going to take my money out of my paycheck and tell me what I'm paying for. I shouldn't get a refund on it, because what we getting out of policing right now, I want a refund on my tax dollar. Like, and I say that in this meeting, and they're like, "Oh my God, John, I can't believe." But I'm saying to the people in the meeting, I can't believe you're not saying this.
Right. Come on now.
And if you don't have somebody like me in these seats,
nobody else gonna say it. Nobody else gonna say it, John.
Yeah.
You have to say it. Yeah. So I completely agree with you that you might be the chosen one. Yeah. If you can stay strong to your beliefs and what you believe in and your commitment to actually serving the people and to delivering your message despite what pushback you get, then that might be our way in the door. Because right now the door's still shut on us. And again, I'm supposed to be optimistic. We see the county working hard to try to involve folks in the community and give them opportunities for employment and to actually, secure contracts to do work on their behalf. I get that, and I'm supposed to be optimistic about that. But I still don't see that door being opened. It's like they're throwing us little bits and pieces from behind the door. They crack the door and be like, "Y'all still out there? All right, here go this, here go that," and then slam the door back again. And then we eat whatever they throw out there, and then we hungry again. They open up the door, throw something else out there, and then we fight over it, get a little bit of it, and then we go about our. You see what I'm saying? They never fully let us in to the room.